Part of what we love about classic Marshall amplifiers is the history and the story that's attached to them. In the case of the Bluesbreaker, what you're really looking at is a JTM 45 with a tremolo circuit. Now that's Marshall's very first amp design, but in the Bluesbreaker case, it's built into a 212 open back combo. Now urban legend says that the reason that the amp was created was so that Eric Clapton had an amplifier that would fit into the trunk of his car. Regardless of how it came into existence, it introduced us to an iconic rock and roll marriage. The marriage between a Gibson Les Paul and a Marshall amplifier. Now this legendary amplifier in all its glory has been modeled by Softtube exclusively for Universal Audio. So to go with my Les Paul, I've got the Bluesbreaker plugin set up for a nice clean tone that works perfectly for drop D tuning. I can play parts that tend to break up badly on other amps. Bluesbreaker is an open back 212 30-watt combo, which gives it definitely its own distinct voice as opposed to other Marshalls in the lineup. For starters, an open back combo is going to have more of an open, airy sound as opposed to a closed back amp. Secondly, Bluesbreakers run on KT66 power tubes, and those power tubes give it more of a rounder bell-like quality than the typical Marshall. Now I've got a great clean tone going that's perfect for fingerpicking on my Strat. I just boosted the mids and the treble a little and used the dynamic mics in the channel strip. The actual Bluesbreaker that Softtube used to create this plugin is a Bluesbreaker from Marshall's own archives. Now you'll remember in the 1959 Superlead Plexi plugin, whenever you turned it on and activated the plugin, you had access to a channel strip setting, which gave you multiple microphones with controls for level and panning. The Bluesbreaker continues with that channel strip feature and gives you options for FET, dynamic, and valve microphones. Now I'm going to get another bright clean tone that's just a ticket for fast picking on my telly. I'm using treble, high treble, and presence all together to make it bright, and the FET mics are perfect for just the right balance and room size. Lots of companies have modeled amplifiers, and some sound really good, but it's less the sound that players talk about and more the feel. The reason I bring this up when I'm talking about these plugins is because whenever you plug your guitar into an Apollo interface and you instantiate the Bluesbreaker or the Plexi or the Silver Jubilee, you're getting something from Universal Audio that you don't get from any other company. And it's called Unison technology. And what that means is that Unison technology is software control of the physical impedance of the front of the unit. So if I plug into a Plexi or a Bluesbreaker or the Silver Jubilee, the physical impedance of the front end of the unit is changing to match the amplifier. If I plug into the bright input versus the bass input, the physical impedance is changing on the front end of the unit. Now what that means for you and I, the players, is that our guitar thinks it's plugging into the actual Marshall. The Marshall Model 1962 Bluesbreaker combo is one of 3 Marshall plugins available exclusively from Universal Audio. Between the 1959 Super Lead Plexi, the Model 1962 Bluesbreaker combo, and the 2555 Silver Jubilee, you can get lost in the myriad of inspiring tones available at your fingertips. And they're all available exclusively on Apollo interfaces and UAD2 hardware.